Okay, I'd like to call to order the Thursday, May 8th, 2025 voting meeting of the Keystone Central School District Board of Directors. We'll start out with a flag salute and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call, please.
Dr. Baldino,
Here.
Mr. Cannon,
Here.
Ms. Donahue,
She's up there. Yeah.
Here.
There she
Mr.
is.
Elling,
Present.
Mr. Johnson,
Here.
Mr. Knopf,
Here.
Ms. Lynch. Here. Mr. Scott,
Here.
Ms. Smith,
Here.
9 members present.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we have the student government reports. We have Martin and McKenna.
I didn't see that. Oh, that's a great photo.
Awesome.
Well done. Are they gonna hang that in school? Good.
Good evening. Bucktail High School has been very busy with testing, but has still had some pretty cool things happen this month. To start off, the Bucktail Band competed at Music in the Parks at Hershey. We placed 4th out of 5 bands in the concert band group, earning an excellent rating. We were also presented with the Spirit Decor Award, which means that we were the most professional and well-behaved band attending. If you would like to read more about this, there's a Record Online article that you can read, written by Autumn Gablock. The Red and Gold Trophy over is our last competition we participated in 2004 with a good rating. And then this is our excellent rating. And then that is the Spirit Decor Award. So, and then that's just a picture we took. Continuing on Monday, May 5th, the Keystone Scholar Group from Central Mountain and Bucktail High School went on a tour to LHU. Next, the art club has been busy painting the mural to go along with the mural by RC. There's an unveiling ceremony Friday, May 16th at 2 p.m. On Friday, May 2nd, seniors Ethan Calfoot and Jeremy Gallagher held a mock car crash that spread awareness about texting and calling while driving. Today, multiple businesses came to Bucktail campus to showcase careers to get the students excited for the future. Military recruiters were also present. The senior class is planning to travel to Ace Adventure Water Park in West Virginia for 3 days for their senior trip. The park has activities like the water park, zip lining, paintball, and hiking. The seniors have been playing the game Senior Assassin with round 3 starting tomorrow. Bucktail Band has our spring concert coming up on Thursday, May 22nd. Soloists will perform during intermission. We hope to see you there. The Bucktail Ecology class has been invited to Washington, D.C. to tour the Capitol and observe the Senate. And finally, Bucktail is having an end-of-the-year reward day on May 29th. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Martin, you're supposed to wear one of those on each arm.
He wants to be able to just definitely hide it and protect it. Okay, next up, hearing of visitors. Do we have anybody signed up?
No.
No? Okay, moving on. All right.
Yeah, I like to move the agenda with the exception of items that like pulled. I have a list I'd like pulled.
Okay,
I would like to start with D1, D2, D3, D7.
hold on a second. Do we have a second?
Oh,
Second.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth.
okay, as I was saying, D1,
Mm-hmm.
D2, D3, D7, D8. G1, G2, G6, G8, and J1.
Okay,
So,
okay. Do I have, do we have any discussion on this?
Did he call, you called G1?
Yes.
G8?
Yes,
Okay.
Anything else? Okay. We have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Cannon, Mr. Cannon,
see a mute thing.
Tom?
Yeah.
He's up there twice for some reason.
Yeah.
He must have got bounced out or something. There, he just came back on.
Okay. Tom?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, can hear you now.
All right. Well, I lost you for a while and I'm not 100% sure on what we're voting on.
We're moving the entire agenda except for items that have been removed for special consideration.
Okay.
Would you like me to go down through them?
Yes, please. I didn't hear it.
Okay, D1, D2, D3, D7, D8, G1, G2, G6, and G8. Did I miss any, Bush?
J1.
And J1,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
Okay, and your vote is?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino.
No.
8 yeses, 1 no.
I'd like to move D1, the board treasurer appointment.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second. Discussion? No discussion? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yeah.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino,
Yes.
Mr. Cannon,
No.
8 yeses, 1 no.
Okay, motion passes.
I'd like to move D2, the board secretary appointment.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Go ahead, Elizabeth.
I'd like to still go on record, and I've been stating this since the very beginning of this. I believe it's a conflict. The board secretary should be a standalone position, and it should not be a shared position with the board's employee.
Okay. Anything else?
I agree with Elizabeth.
I do also.
Okay. All right, So. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Helling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
No,
Mr. Scaff,
No.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino,
No.
Mr. Cannon,
No.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
5 yeses, 4 noes.
Okay. Motion passes. Next.
I'd like to move the appointment of up to 3 individuals to be voting delegates for PSBA. We have to come up with 3 volunteers to be the voting delegates for the PSBA convention, October 21st at Kalahari Resort in the Poconos.
up to 3.
Up to 3, yes.
Mhm.
Do we have any volunteers? I guess would be the first thing. And I'll put your names in there and make the motion.
No.
I volunteered and I know Bill did. Are you
Yeah.
still good with that, Bill?
Yep.
Okay.
I got a question on that.
Yes.
That's only one day and it's during the week. Correct?
It's actually multiple.
It says the meeting is on October 21st.
The voting, the delegate assembly meeting is on October 21st. There's a convention that goes on that week, probably 3 or 4 days ahead of time. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I haven't gone in a while.
It was like, what was it, Bill?
I think it was
Like
2
3
days.
3 days?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3
You're gonna
days.
drive in, leave.
Yeah.
Should you, nothing against you, but if you're not coming back next year, should you be jumping on that?
Are you going to go?
I'm not gonna go up and spend 2 or 3 days now.
Okay. I'm willing to do that since I am still, at the time,
Well, I
I'm a
understand that.
representative.
I
Yes.
understand that, but I'd like to see us get something out of it, because what if we have to vote later on in the year, then can we, if you're not here, can we replace that?
Well, basically what'll happen is I'll go down there and kind of like what Bill and I did before, we get the information. We can bring it back and let you guys know what's going on.
Okay,
They're just going down for the day.
Hmm?
They're just going down for the day.
so they're
Actually,
not going for a couple
No,
days?
we're going down for that conference.
Oh, overnight, so
What?
it's, okay, well, that's confusing because the motion is just for one day, so this.
That's why I'm wondering.
Can I explain if you don't mind me interrupting? I'm sorry. But what normally happens, the state convention goes on for about 3 days. There's quite a few breakout sessions for educational purposes. And it's I found it a couple times I went worthwhile to go to because you can learn a lot about different things. And not only how we could be doing stuff, but how other districts are doing stuff throughout the Commonwealth. There's a lot of information presented there. On this date that the voting delegates assembly, they're gonna sit in a large room normally, and they'll have the PSBA representatives read what their platform's gonna be for the year. Mostly legislative stuff they're trying to push through the platform. By putting people in this position, they're authorized to vote for that platform for Keystone Central School District. Well, we have to send their names in. So,
My question on it is, and Roger, it's no disrespect to you, if you go down and you're a voting delegate and say later in the year, we need to vote on something and you're not here, do they let somebody else take his slot over?
If you want somebody else to go.
No, I'm saying if
No,
something.
I'm answering your question. If
You
you
mean
want
after
someone else to
October?
go. Here's the thing, okay? This actually just came out. Okay, apply to present or have your students perform. Details are below and applications are due by June 1st during October 19th through the 21st at the Kalahari Resort and Convention Center in Poconos. Hundreds of school leaders across the Commonwealth will gather at the conference for professional development and networking. Okay, so that's what's going on down there. Elizabeth, you've been there and there's a lot, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you learned a lot out of that, didn't you?
They have morning breakout work sessions and I thought they were very good. I do have my concerns about it, but I won't, I don't feel it'd be helpful to share them here. But I will say this, if I may. I don't like the fact that PSBA is not doing this virtually. They're forcing you to drive to their event for their fundraiser. Instead, why aren't they letting all the school districts across the state go to this and attend virtually? And I did voice that when they have that little written thing at the end.
Right.
And that's like, they're forcing you to spend our money so we can attend something that we paid for. It's very unfair in my book.
Chris?
I understand that you can learn a lot. That's not what I'm getting at. If we go down, say if 3 of our people go down there
Mm-hmm.
and you're the voting dignitaries from here, and then next year you're not here, then we only have 2. Will they let somebody take your voting spot
Yes.
for the year? Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Each
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Just check the PSBA website. They do allow, when somebody can't serve any longer, your school board can reappoint somebody.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's the answer I wanted, but, and I agree with Elizabeth, they should do this also
Yeah.
virtually.
Thank you.
I
Save a lot of
I'm trying to
money.
remember, but I think one of the things you do on your reorganizational meeting in December is
Mhm.
appoint PSBA representatives, people to do this. So, yeah, that's when, I think they're appointed then,
Okay,
so. So come December,
Well, did we do that last December?
I'm pretty sure we did, but don't ask me who they are, but I know we did, 'cause that's one of the things you have to
I
do.
don't remember doing that,
Yeah, that's, you have to appoint PSBA reps and you have to appoint
yeah.
all kind of stuff, I think. Yeah, I don't know who it was, but. I think-
unless you're gonna be here next year.
I'm not running a writing campaign. Okay, so right now, at this point, we only have 2 individuals. If somebody else would like to apply, please let me know. Okay, but in the meantime, we will just go with Bill and myself. Elizabeth, would you like to go?
No, I can't. But may I, I would really like the board to consider this. To discuss at some point, PSBA not allowing board members to attend this virtually. I think it's very unfair and it's unrealistic. I just wish we could all get together and let them know if we collectively feel this way. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
If I could do it virtually, I'd do it.
I would too.
Okay.
I'm sure we're not alone.
Unfortunately, that's not how the motion is right
I
now,
know.
so,
Just want to say thank you.
all right.
So the motion should be appoint Dr. Baldino and Roger Elling as the voting delegates to the 2025 Delegate Assembly on Tuesday, October 21st.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. We already discussed. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Knopf,
Excuse me.
Yes,
Ms. Lynch,
Yes, because they volunteer.
you said yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yeah,
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino,
Yes.
Mr. Cannon,
Yes.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
9 members, yes.
Okay, motion passes.
I'd like to move D7, a flexible instructional application. Actually, can I amend that? Can I make a motion to do D7 and D8 together? They're both flexible instructional applications. One for the high schools, one's for the CTC program.
Okay, I've got a motion. Is there a
Second.
second?
second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Elizabeth?
I wish someone could please explain this to me so I understand. Are these individuals that are just taking on more responsibility? Or
Mm-mm.
I honestly
No.
don't,
This is in case there's a
The FID
FID day, like a, flexible instruction day. So if we have snow, we have the ability through the state's eyes to provide instruction virtually.
Okay, that's where I was
Yeah,
confused.
we have up to
We don't do
5.
school days
Yeah.
or snow days.
No,
yeah.
well, I know, yeah.
Yeah, we don't do snow days. We do
Yeah.
this. that
Okay,
way
so
the
this
kids-
isn't any more pay or anything, it's just
No, this is a
more of a
requirement by the state. Every
paperwork.
so many years you have to reapply.
That's
for
where
the
I was
full days.
confused. You helped me, thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes,
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino,
Yes.
Mr. Cannon,
Yes.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes,
all members, yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve G1 bills for payment.
Okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Elizabeth?
yes. I'm voting no for this, even though we're backwards. We're approving bills that have already been paid. So I'm not going to approve this because on page 14, and I say this every year, I don't feel, very strongly, I do not feel that entitlement programs should be allowed paid by the taxpayers. And what I mean by that is the Sons of Italy for the retirement dinner venue. And we were told, I believe, they're estimating the final cost to be about $4,000. So be that as it may, I'm going to state exactly what I said last year and the year before. If an individual or a group would like to have a social outing, it is up to them to decide how they want to organize it and how they would like to fund it. It is not a board or a school responsibility.
Okay. Any other discussion? Chris?
Last week I asked about all that entries on school specialties. And Joni replied back that that was a settlement. And I had asked her in the meeting to give me a number of how many settlements we had. Right now, we have 10 settlements going on. I don't know the dollar amount, I couldn't find out, but the 10 settlements is a lot. Do we know why that's even happening? We
I
have,
don't know why. I mean, we can find out. I don't have the answer I can give you right now.
I think the board should have a discussion on why do we have these going on, and I think that's a high number of settlements.
And some may be carried over for multiple years too.
Yeah, and that's it.
You'd have
We
to
should
see the
know that, though, is-
longevity of all of them, yeah, so.
But we should know that as a group, just so we all know where we're at.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you.
And I agree with Elizabeth. I don't think that the retirement party should come out. We're given how many umpteen years of benefits and everything else when somebody retires. Yeah, we're thankful for them, but there's groups that could come up with their own funds for that.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yes, to go along with what Chris said about knowing what these settlements are, we're expected to vote on the approval of the payment, but how do we even know what we're approving? If we don't know what these settlements are, how can we even with good conscience approve the payments as a board? Why are we not kept in that loop?
I agree.
Roger, can I say something?
Go ahead, Butch.
The settlements that you're seeing on there have all been approved by the board to be paid.
Okay.
Settlements have gone over through the years. I don't know how many years they've to go back. But through the years, all these settlements come in front of the board, and we as the board collectively vote to approve that settlement. Once that settlement's approved, there's different ways to pay it. Perhaps it's a educational settlement that someone gets so much money for their education because something might have been lacking in their education. So we approve X amount of dollars for them to use for so many years for that education to make up for the stuff they lost. So there's different things and different reasons, but every one of those settlements were approved by the board at one time.
Anybody
Can
else?
I-
Jeff?
Just to add to what Butch said, what he said is correct. We, each of these, whatever settlements there are, and I'm guessing, and this is just a guess, but I know that I've been a part of several of them, and I'm guessing probably majority, if not all of them, are special ed related settlements
Mhm.
that have been discussed, and the recommendation brought to the board to make one or to agree on to one of these settlements, because your choice is either do that or roll up thousands and thousands of dollars in attorney fees. So, which is correct. They have been all approved, board approved, and some go till, the student reaches a certain age until then it ends. So, and it's used usually for educational purposes only.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Elizabeth.
I know. I just want to make sure everybody else gets their chance before I go to her again. Okay, go ahead, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you. And then on page 35, it's been requested multiple times that the board get some sort of report, whether it's quarterly, biannually, annually, for legal fees. We see legal fees always come up, and for the tax office, here's another $11,352. We have no idea what it was spent on, who it was for. Are we paying it? Are the other municipalities pitching in? I have no idea. So again, I'm requesting that administration give us a list of all the taxes, all of the legal fees that we pay and what department they're coming out of for evaluation purposes. And I'm again going to request this, that the business office, tax office gives us a list of all the taxes that the school board oversees and what fee percentage we charge each of the municipalities broken down. And then the gross amount in fees that we collect every year, not the net, the gross. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Scott,
No.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino.
No.
Mr. Cannon,
No.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
No.
That was G1.
5 yeses, 4 nos.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve G2, the proposed final general fund budget.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Okay, go with Chris first this time.
That's fine.
I cannot approve this budget or vote for it because I feel that we could do a lot more. Cut funds. I happen to know there's a lot of municipalities that are talking about raising taxes this time around. A lot of them haven't done it in years. And then we're gonna tag another one on. And I don't think that we have done due diligence for the taxpayers to get some things cut down. And I don't agree with raising taxes and securing a budget that's gonna make us raise it.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
Elizabeth?
Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank Chris. I won't go over what, I agree with what Chris said. And I will say this, I learned this by going to the Kalahari. I talked to other board members and they are actively involved month to month with working on the budget. And I did the PSBA when I first started, or the second year I was here for my annual training. It's called the finance. And again, they list all the different types that you can work under, whether it's accrued or zero. And they also, again, highly recommended that school board members actively work with administration every month and go over every single department. So Be that as it may, I'm saying it again. I'm hoping that eventually we get to that point. I definitely do not approve of this, especially since we're still doing entitlement programs and other things. I definitely do not support this.
One sec. Anybody else? Okay, go ahead, Chris.
As I brought it up at the last meeting, if you remember, I said we should take a section of the budget, one different one every single month, and we should be working through it as a board with the administration to do whatever we can do to be responsible to our taxpayers, and that's what I'm getting at. So I said it last month, and I'll say it again this month.
I agree.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino,
No.
Mr. Cannon,
No.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
No,
Mr. Scap,
No,
5 yeses, 4 noes.
Motion passes.
why do we?
Next.
I'd like to move G6, the list of judicial sales for the county.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Butch?
should I say it for you?
If you want to.
I've heard this, well, how many years? This
yeah,
is
it's
going
been-
on 7 years.
I've been doing this for
6
about
years?
14 years now. Every time one of these comes up, I vote no because I have a real problem with the way the judicial sales system is set up. It's no fault of the county, it's the fault of the state legislature, the way the sale is set up. When these houses or properties are sold, they're sold at an amount, most of them are around the $500 amount. So they're sold at that amount, and when it is, all liens and responsibilities on that property are expunged. They owe nothing now for that property. The assessed value of that property is what it's sold at. So if you buy a property for $500 that was assessed, say at 25,000, now it's gonna be assessed at 5,000 until you do work through the
Permanent.
building permit process. Thank you, Elizabeth, you do know it. The
Okay.
building permit process will add to it. And the only reason you need a building permit if you do stuff to the exterior house, if you do work on the inside, most of the time you don't need one. So most of the people will go for years not paying anything except on that $500 value. And it just irks the crap out of me that it happens, but the legislators in Harrisburg have to do something about this. Put a limit on. The purpose of this is a good purpose. It's to get these properties back on the tax roll.
Mhm.
But back on the tax roll for $500 when you're generating what, $8 or $9, it's not worth me saying yes. So that's my opinion.
Chris?
I gotta go along with what Butch is saying. Why, can anybody tell me why, when it's sold, doesn't it get
Reappraised.
appraised at what it was before?
Mhm.
Just because something sells for it doesn't mean that's what it's worth.
Therein lies the problem.
Right.
So we-
It's
But you
nothing we
can't do
can do
spot
anything
assessments, you
about.
can't
No,
do,
we
so
really
you have to
can't.
be able to assess what
Right.
the selling value
No.
is.
I mean, does that, do the assessments fall under our purview or is that under another? That's what I thought.
The only
That's
thing we
another
do-
entity,
The only
So
thing we're
we-
responsible.
we're
for is
stuck
judicial
with it.
sale.
period.
All three entities that have taxing authority for that property have to vote on it. So it will be the county usually goes first, then it's usually either us or the local municipality voting second and third. So depending on who gets their meeting set up first, but all three has to approve it for it to go through. I don't know of any not being approved, but the most part I vote no, just because I'm irked and I've talked to them used to be Keith Yerrick, and I've talked to him for years at the county's office about something, but nothing can be done until the state does something.
Randy, is he collaborating?
Okay,
Well, what happens if this board doesn't pass it?
I don't know. I never know.
Time to find out.
Well, are you game?
I don't, I, I don't know what'll happen.
Well, make an argument for us to vote no.
I just tell you
He
how I
already
feel
did.
and what I vote.
You just,
He
you
just
just did,
did.
Elizabeth.
In good conscience, what they're doing is trying, the county is put these up for judicial sale in an attempt to get them back on the tax roll. So
Mhm.
they're doing their due diligence by putting them back on the tax roll.
But not at what they're worth.
So,
Because they can't do that because they're going for what they're sold for. Now,
Right.
if say you buy it for $500 and turn around and sell it for $5,000,
That's the.
then the reassessment value goes to $5,000.
Right.
Until it's resold. So, or until they do significant repairs on the building through the building permit process and get it redone. Or until there's a county-wide reassessment, which I don't see happening in the near future.
Wouldn't it be reassessed again if you had like insurance put on it?
That's, we don't know.
If-
No,
No.
not insurance, so no.
No.
You would have to get a bank loan or something where they come out and have it appraised. And then it would have to go through assessment.
But
So
I guess they roll the dice.
I'm looking here and I don't see it. Oh, here we go. It was $250 for selling, they want to sell this for. Is that right?
I don't, is it?
Am I reading? I mean, these things are so, they're so
Yeah, it's-
convoluted.
Yes. I said,
Yeah, so we're getting whatever our percentage of tax revenue on $250.
yeah, that's,
if
is
we
that
do it.
probably just a piece of land? There's no property, no building structure.
Property information.
And it's probably just a piece of land for $250. Usually with buildings on, it starts around $500 and
Just based on the name of the people buying
No,
it. I know,
Well,
but you make a good point, Butch.
He does.
And we're not gonna lose anything if we don't approve it. We're probably lose about $1.50.
you know,
You know,
the only thing that possibly could
Send
happen,
that out to
the
everybody,
county
please.
could come back and probably try to push it through again, and the county's gonna probably come talk to us about it.
It's a
'cause
survey.
They benefit from it.
yeah.
Well, we'll tell the county we'll do something different.
So, but that's,
Oh, that whole thing. Okay, I thought you were.
but you know my feelings. I've done this every time I've voted for one of these on the board. I've done the same statement, made the same claim and then tried to get help, but nothing can be
I
done.
don't know. That's what no.
No.
means.
Yeah, this one. Like for this one here, we get 0 tax dollars. There's $100 in taxes being paid, we get 0, the county gets 1050.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cots is 89,
Yeah.
Bald Eagle Township gets 41 cents.
Yeah.
41
It's not
cents more
funny,
than
I'm sorry.
more
Yeah,
than we get.
we get nothing out of this
We get
period.
nothing, yeah.
We don't even get $1.50, yeah.
No, so it just depends on which one it is and how much they assess it at, so yeah.
Mhm.
So, but anyways,
Legal fees.
Just to let you know, I was just informed, or you want to discuss that?
There, yeah, so if we do not pass it, there's a hearing date that will be scheduled, and I'm assuming that they'll probably call us in as part of the hearing based on the decision. I'm trying to look to see if there's anything in the document real quick that talks about the hearing date, but I haven't had a chance to search it here real quick.
Well,
Elizabeth?
I'm willing to go through the process. Just because until we actually make a statement and keep making a statement, Butch's efforts are gonna never go anywhere.
unfortunately, it's not a local issue, it's a state issue. I
Well,
don't know what we can do to,
school boards can
Uh,
get
kick-
together, PSBA can get together, the Commissioners Association can get together. I mean, it's just a matter of,
It's gotta start somewhere.
gotta start
Yeah.
somewhere.
I think you'll find it's more of an issue for us here in this rural area. Because you have
I don't
a
know,
property in a different
well, this is your moment.
municipality, might have a larger
Okay.
tax base, might get a lot more money for something like that, where, you get a building down in Lancaster up for judicial sale, might go for, 100,000, where we're getting 500.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's kind of a rough issue for us to fight because we're so small.
All right.
But, the
We
option
pay
is,
big bucks.
do you want to-
PSBA.
Yeah. It's up to you guys what you want to do. I know how I'm voting, but it's, like I said, it's gonna go through a court system. We'll probably have to pay for an attorney to represent us to get that 0 money from tax money.
Yeah, that's, assume that is gonna happen. We have to weigh those options.
And that is one of the things that if you take a look at it, I mean, yeah, we're not gonna get anything for it. based upon the way it is set up now. But if we do end up voting it down, then we're gonna have lawyer fees that are gonna be way above.
Why are we gonna need a lawyer?
Because if we're gonna have a hearing date, we're gonna have to be called in and our solicitor is gonna have to go there.
Why do we have to send the solicitor? I mean, there's nothing in this or against this in this. Like, we could send anybody and just say, we're making a statement because they don't reassess the property and we get nothing out of this tax sale anyway, so.
Okay,
I guess.
that's,
roll
yeah,
the dice and see,
Yeah,
because I
okay.
can't find it.
Just a roll of the dice.
I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me. I don't know. I'm just throwing that
Well,
out there. That's the way
if
I
we
reason
get
it
called
out.
in for a hearing, I'm kind of thinking we're probably gonna want to have our solicitor there to cover us legally in case something comes up.
Can't we just ask?
The only thing I could do is suggest you could table it and pull it back and then see if David could come in and
That's a good
discuss the
idea.
relocation.
Why don't we do that?
Okay,
That's my only, I mean, that's, if there's questions and, because I don't think you want to be set up with significant legal funds
Yeah.
if that is the case. And I guess we should just really see where.
Then
I move to modify the motion to table this until after consultation with the solicitor.
okay.
Butch has to rescind it, don't
No, I
we?
think-
No,
No, what
no,
has-
okay, at this,
What could happen now, someone needs to make a
Yes,
motion.
I
to
need a
table it.
second.
We need a motion, and second to table, we vote on the tabling,
Yeah.
and then once that happens, my motion actually is null and void.
Okay,
so
I'll
I have a
second.
motion.
I'll second.
Okay, and could you repeat the motion?
I move that we table this until, I move that we table a decision on this item until after we consult with our solicitor.
Okay,
Second.
and you seconded it, Chris. Okay, so we got a motion and a second. Any discussion on this motion? None? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Baldino,
Yes.
Mr. Cannon,
No. Everybody was talking about having a backbone and standing up, and now all of a sudden everybody's folding. I'm still voting no.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes,
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Scout,
I'll say yes because we have to re-vote on it again, right? Okay, so I'll say yes for now. Till we hear,
It's
till,
to your motion that you
Yes.
seconded.
yes,
Okay,
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
8 yeses, 1 no.
okay, table. Okay, little step, baby step. Next, we're gonna go with G8, the Central Mountain Middle School hand dryer.
Okay, I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I've got a second. Discussion.
What exactly is the motion?
Do we approve the Central Mountain Middle School hand dryer?
How many?
hold on.
I think it says in the motion.
Because that wasn't what was in, I mean, that wasn't what was in the thing that was discussed. It was just the discussion.
Each hand dryer is for, it's like for
10
10
student
student bathrooms.
I have a simple question about this. Didn't we vote this down before?
Yes, we did.
Yes, on March
Hmm.
13th,
But it was reintroduced, which is okay by Robert's Rules of Order. But
Yeah. I don't know who has the floor.
Roger, can I ask facilities chairman some questions?
Okay, we got the motion and the second.
well,
What's
the
the-
problem is, Roger, that there was really nothing that was set up to
As a
move
motion.
the last time. It was Jeff just provided a discussion. Am I wrong, Jeff, or did you suggest some? I mean, did you make a motion or?
Well, I asked to have it put back on the agenda
Yeah,
for
okay.
tonight's meeting.
So. I mean, so we discuss it and, you know. If somebody wants to move to. Order hair dryers, that's something, needs a second, and then you vote on that, but right now, there's nothing like that on the floor.
I think it's a point I made the move. I moved the G8, the Central Mountain Middle School hand dryer,
Yeah, but what are you moving? That's,
to provide hand dryers in, if you read G8, for up to 10 student bathrooms. At a cost of $500 to $600 each. Oh,
So,
Plus
Okay.
the electrical installation.
and how much is it?
Where in here does it say how many?
Right at the
last
bottom,
sentence.
the last
I'm
sentence.
getting
G8,
an Amazon.
The last sentence.
Page when I click on it.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, it's
Now,
public content.
can I ask if anybody's checked on what it's gonna cost to have these all installed?
Yes.
Do we have a question or do we have an answer on how much? What's the total cost of the project? And once again, like I brought up the last time in the last meeting, these things are a breeding ground for bacteria. I have the documentation here. I offered it to Mr. Johnson last time to check it out. He didn't want it. So I cannot see spending money because I have some serious questions that keeps getting thrown at us. The Mill Hall wants us to do this because of a problem. But this is a problem that I've never heard of before until here recently. So why is it all of a sudden a major problem? We have to do this. What's the cause of the problem? We were told that they're filling up with grease, the sewer lines. How are the sewer lines, where's the grease coming from?
No,
Okay.
that's not.
Hold on a second, Jeff. Let him finish.
Where's the grease coming from? Why is all of a sudden there paper towels? That school held a lot more kids than before. Why all of a sudden now? I'm more suspect that there's something wrong in the line. That if
Okay.
it keeps plugging up.
Roger.
Okay.
Roger.
Jeff.
I'm not done yet.
Go first. Go ahead.
I'm not
Butch.
done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were.
I would ask that we table this. I know that Mill Hall has a sewer authority meeting coming up. And I would ask that we table this until after their meeting because there's some big questions gonna get asked at that meeting. And let's see if we can get some answers from them, because my biggest question of this whole thing, we go through all the expense of buying all these hand dryers, paying to get them installed. What happens if the problem's still there? Then what? We're gonna throw a lot of money out the door for something we don't know if it's gonna fix the problem. And I'm suspecting from what I'm hearing that there is a lot more to this problem than just needing us to buy hand dryers. Now I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Butch?
Okay, this has been a problem that's been going on for the 3.5 years I've been back on the board. It's been talked about numerous times, Elizabeth. You talked about it numerous times about it needing done. You talked to us about the hand dryers at LAQ where your, I guess, husband works, and you talked to us about all those. You told us about all those hand dryers and how this was an issue. We've had a representative from Mill Hall Borough come last month, I guess it was, and sat here and told us about it. I talked to a couple other people from Mill Hall Borough in the last week or so. Well, last week since it's been home. And my question was, how do you know it's our problem? Did they dig it out and they find our paper towels in it? Have they scoped the line to make sure there's no roots infiltrating or something, water infiltration, especially the way the weather's been the last couple of weeks. They said they've scoped the lines are good.
Out there.
After the problem is pulled, after the paper towels are pulled from the collection bin, there's no problem downstream. Downline, there's no problem. It's coming from our paper towels from the middle school. So, from what I'm gathering, and I don't know for a fact, that middle school students are flushing a large amount of paper towels down the toilet and plugging the line. So that's the assumption. So, but I've never heard anything about grease in the line. They didn't talk to me about grease. They told me it's all paper towel issues, and they did a downstream study, I think is what they told me. Whatever that, I'd assume that means from that collection bin down. And they found nothing wrong there that could cause it to back up more than what the paper towel issue is doing. So they've asked us about it. They're claiming it's about a $1,600, I think he said a month issue, with them going over and spending manpower to clean it out. So it's costing them money, and they're saying they're not going to absorb it much longer. They're going to start passing it on to the consumer, which would be us. For the rumor I heard. So, I'm
Okay,
done.
is that it?
Yes.
Okay, Jeff?
Well, what Butch is saying is absolutely correct. As I said at the last meeting, that this obviously is probably 95% or 99% is the reason for this being creating the problem. I know that we, as I said at the last meeting, we've had a good relationship with the Mill Hall Borough folks. They work with us on different things. They help us with letting us use the baseball field and the park and some other things. I would hate to see them ever get to the point where they're saying, "Oh, you guys don't want to cooperate with us. Maybe you need to find another place to play baseball." I don't see that happening because I just don't think that that's the way they operate. However, they could. I think this has been a tempest in a teapot, honestly. I think this is something that should be a relatively easy fix. There has never been any statement about grease being in the line or anything. Butch is right about that. It is what it is. That's the problem. The lines, if you read parts of the motion, they've checked the lines out. As Butch has said, I think as far as I said, we've got hand dryers in this entire building. I haven't seen any illness breakouts from that. There's never been any documented cases of any illness being caused by hand dryers. So I think it would be a relatively cheap one-time fix to eliminate a problem that's been ongoing. It's not something that's new. This has gone on for several years, at least since as long as I've been on the board. So vote it up, vote it down.
Elizabeth?
Hi, thank you. Yes, grease is a problem. In fact, they did mention it, and grease is a problem. In fact, the borough, and I'll report this, the Borough Council last month invited me to come to their sewer meeting. They invited me, which is next week. I'm going to attend. And the Borough Council president called me, and he did state again, they did check them, and there's some paper towels stuck in there, and it's commingled with grease. Grease is a problem. And no, the sewer lines that the school district owns have not been cambered recently. The borough cameras borough-owned sewer lines. So let's just make that clear. So these are questions that we don't have answers to. We asked this during the facilities committee meeting, and he hasn't had time, but he will. Sam, the facility supervisor, said he's going to come back with us with an estimate on how much it's going to cost his team or some other third party to hook all these up and run the electrical lines. We still don't have that estimate, but he might have it at the next facilities committee meeting. So, be that as it may, council also told us when the heat came is that, yes, there's paper towels. They can't distinguish whether they're paper towels from the bathroom or they're paper towels that you get like in your kitchen area. They don't know what kind of paper towels they are. They're just paper towels. And it is a problem. But here's my question. Besides not having actual estimates or the actual number of hand dryers, we don't know how our lines are. We don't know what steps administration has been taking since they've known about this for the last 5 years. What have they implemented at those schools? Why aren't they being effective? And also, who's been looking at our grease trap? Why is there grease being down the sewer lines that the school owns into the manhole that the borough owns? So there's so many unknowns right now that, and school's going to be closing soon. And when schools close, the problem generally goes away, as for what they reported to us. So tabling this until we have more details, I feel would be the responsible and reasonable thing to do. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yep.
Okay, Tom.
As a former sewer authority board member for Bald Eagle Township and a former sewer authority worker for Bald Eagle Township, I can tell you the number one problem is grease, small articles of clothing, and feminine products. Those are your problems. Paper towels, unless they're actual large towels, they go through just like toilet paper does. So maybe you really ought to look at your grease traps. And if you're concerned with paper towels, get thinner paper towels. They go down through, they grind up just like toilet paper does, and they dry your hands just as well, and they're probably cheaper than an electric hand dryer. So think about that.
Okay. Dr. Baldino?
Thank you. First of all, I have a personal, I mean, I've never liked blown air hand dryers. I've never looked up the data on it. Chris has, but it just on a theoretical basis, it just seemed you're blowing bacteria around the room. Didn't seem like a good idea to me. Secondly, and perhaps it was Elizabeth that brought it up last week, but somebody brought up the fact that grease was also an associated part of this problem, not the paper towels. If it's grease, I don't know anything about grease traps, but I mean, we have a problem with it where I live. We have to, and we try as much as possible to put all the grease in a jar and throw it out in the trash. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to do that in a facility the size of ours, but what can be done? I think something should be looked at. What can be done to limit the grease that's getting into the sewer line? Paper towels, again, that could be one of two things. I mean, if it's kids throwing paper towels into the toilet, that's a behavior problem. And I don't think we should be addressing a behavior problem by putting in different appliances. If it's in the kitchen, which is where the grease is going to be coming from, it could be a behavior problem. It could be an equipment problem. But again, it's something to address. And I don't think it's a one-time fix. These things, I suspect, are going to be breaking on a regular basis and need attention. And, I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Roger.
Butch?
I'd like to make a motion, we table this until is it Mill Hall or Bald Eagle? I don't know who it is.
Mill
or
Hall
Borough
Sewer and Highway.
Till they have their meeting and we find out more information from them. So I'll make a motion, we table it till after their meeting.
I'll report.
Okay, there's a
I'll
motion on
second
the
that.
floor.
I'll second that.
Okay, Dr. Baldino seconded. Okay. Do a roll call vote on this, please.
Mr. Cannon,
Yes, I'm in favor of tabling this.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
No,
Mr. Knoll,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Scout,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino.
Yes,
8 yeses, 1 no.
And the only thing I would ask is, if
Sure.
you're going to that, I'd make sure Sam gets information about maybe attending or getting as much
Mhm.
information.
That
from
was
the
gonna be-
costing, Sam.
Thank you. That's actually what I wrote my note to say that.
Okay.
So I just wanted to see, I was gonna ask Dr. Redmond, I was gonna send an email to Dr. Redmond, carbon copy Sam and say, this is the
No,
meeting, is it
township.
okay if Sam?
The sewer board.
Okay,
Yeah.
next I'd like to make a motion that we approve J1, the MOU with Act 93 for the 210-day special education supervisor position.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Discussion.
I would like clarification on exactly what we're doing here, please. If you could provide that, Randy, please.
So there's,
you know.
there's already a current supervisor that retired,
Okay,
okay? This is the supervisor to replace that supervisor.
okay,
The last supervisor was a 260-day employee. This one is gonna be a 210-day employee.
okay.
So there'll be an adjustment in salary, less salary for the new supervisor coming on.
Okay, so we're changing the position to a less expensive one
Right,
but we have
but
to
it,
fill.
but it still will provide us with a ton of
Yeah,
support.
we
for the
have
special-
to,
yeah,
we
the
have
special
to,
ed.
it's a position that we have to fill.
Yes, so if not, you would only have Liz Barnhart as covering all of special ed as the supervisor.
Well, that's fine.
Elizabeth?
Oh, thank you. Since Personnel Committee we are not privy, we cannot attend Personnel Committee meetings. I have absolutely no idea about this. I have absolutely no idea why they can't just have a secretary or something else. I have absolutely no idea who's taking this position. I have no idea if another person's taking this position, then what's happening to the position that person had? I know nothing about this, okay?
This is just the administration realigning their roles.
Right.
And whoever takes that position, we don't know who that is yet. I'm assuming they haven't had interviews because it hasn't been on the agenda yet. Whoever takes that position, if it's somebody already within the district, maybe a teacher, special ed teacher might move into, like happened last time, then their position would be filled like it does when any other teachers moved around. All this is to lower the amount of days this position fills and making it cheaper salary wise. This is a very important position though, to support Liz Barnhart in the special ed department. It cannot be done by a secretary.
There's a lot of compliance issues that this person will take care of that.
So they have to have specific certifications?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, again, I can't vote yes for this because I have no idea what this involves. So I'm so sorry,
All right.
okay?
And again, there's honestly too much work for one person to do.
Yeah, because when you look at the amount of special ed students in the population, the amount of people that have to be at LEA at the meetings, so you have to have somebody there at the meetings like that holds compliance over the IEP meetings. So when you're talking about right now, it's Liz because we have somebody that's retired, that's now not working. You have her having to cover all those meetings and stretch out. And so it's very difficult to do justice for the support of our students without having another person to help that load, because most districts have upwards of 2 to 3 special ed people within their leadership team. Right now, we have 1 for a district 3,400 students.
Is she able to keep up now or we getting a backlog?
No, we're getting a backlog right now, because I go and sit on some LEA, I act as an LEA sometimes, and there's other people that will jump in as well. We're just trying to help, especially now that we're towards the end of the year to get through this, so.
Roger?
Go ahead, Butch.
Yeah, the person that's filling this role is retiring, I believe, July first. She's on,
I thought you just said we don't know
She-
who's filling the
no,
position.
the person that has his position now is retiring July first.
Right.
She's the supervisor of special education.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr.
She is on leave,
Yes.
whatever type of vacation she's using, from April 30th to June
June
30th.
30th.
That's one of the things we voted earlier on the
You're right,
personnel
I
thing.
saw, okay.
So it's only been backlogged now since the 30th of April, so what, 8 days? So it's starting to back up. It'll get worse as the year goes on. We'll start doing IEPs. So what this is an attempt to is to reduce that supervisor of special education position, which has to have special qualifications, like Randy said, from a 260-day position year round to 210, where they're not needed during the summer, where things are slow, that the one person can handle it. So I guess it's a opportunity for us to save finances or save money, cutting the hours or the days of this position, so we can cut down the money we pay for this position. So they're still gonna get the work done when it's needed during the school year, but you won't need it during, July and some of August when there's nothing going on, so.
Okay, well,
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
thank you. Well, I appreciate that. I heard what you said, but again, since I don't know what goes on in personnel, I don't know how much creative examining that's been taking place. I'm not saying they're not doing their job, so please don't go there. What I'm saying is, just because we've done things a certain way, this way for years, is there any other creative opportunities where someone might be able to do this job and that job? Or I don't know what the answer is, because this is outside of any committee that I can ever attend. So be that as it may, I'm not saying we should not take care of our children either. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't see any flow chart. I don't know who works in what building. I have no idea who's in this department. So what I'm saying is, I do not have enough information to make an
Okay,
educated
Elizabeth.
decision. So please, let me finish, sir. So what I'm saying is, if we had a flow chart, one for every school, one for every department, so we could actually see these stacks of individuals, that might help.
Provided that, correct?
Yes.
At the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
It doesn't break.
Whenever we do it.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I-
that's already been presented.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it
May I-
has.
May I finish? No, it hasn't. For each individual school, and then a name attached to all the individuals that hold those supervisory Act 93 positions. No, we have not been given that. So be that as it may, I want to support, but I don't understand this, and I'm sorry, and not seeing a flow chart and everything else involved with it.
Okay,
Done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Roger, can I ask one question?
Go ahead, Tom.
Are you asking us to approve a position without an appointee? Or are you asking us to approve a position with an appointee to that position?
So, Tom, this is already a current position that's filled by somebody. We want to retool that position to cut some days out of that, which will then also give us some financial savings as well. And have that be the new position that somebody else will eventually be voted on to fill.
Next month.
So you are asking us to approve this position that we do not have a person to appoint to yet?
Correct, yeah, we still have to go.
And we're changing the position that exists today to this position tomorrow.
Correct, yes, we're taking the amount of days out of it and lowering the compensation and benefits.
Does that help you, Elizabeth?
Thank you, it does, Tom, but again, I honestly don't know if there's even more different responsibilities that could be thrown into this, or maybe somebody already has responsibilities, this could be added to what they're already doing. I have no idea.
Okay, I just thought that maybe that might have helped clear a little bit up for you, but
It did though, thank you.
Dr. Baldino?
Okay, if we don't approve this, this position still continues as a 260-day position.
Yeah,
Am
it's
I
already on.
understanding that correct?
Yes.
So, okay, so it's there. Or you just are asking us
We're
to,
asking
you were
to
asking us
reduce-
to cut it,
Right, we're asking you. to cut it
changing the
back.
parameters.
Okay, well, that,
To save money.
That would have
Yes,
been a
to
lot
save
clearer
money.
from the beginning. You know,
Okay,
thank you.
Jeff?
This, this position is the person that works very closely with the supervisor of special education. It is a huge workload for that department. We have, I believe, 800 plus students with IEPs. Is that correct, Randy?
well, that's, I didn't know that.
And this person is pretty much the assistant to
her, yeah.
that, to Liz. It is a huge job.
Correct.
You could never ask either one of those people to take on any other responsibilities because, I mean, just the paperwork alone involved with special education is huge. It is tremendously time consuming. And you want to talk about settlements. You screw up any of those IEPs, you're going to be looking at more settlements. So I'm saying that this is a very important position. And in fact, by cutting the days, you're going to save money, but I don't know that you're going to regain efficiency because you're not. But, you know, it's an opportunity to save a few bucks. So that's why we're doing it. We're not change. That's the only thing that's going to change. That and the new hire it's going to be in there. We don't need any flow chart because there's two people there.
Okay. Chris?
Well, with what Mr. Johnson just said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I understand what he said loud and clear. But if they're backed up that hard, why would we want to cut the time that they spend doing their job?
That's why was my next question. Yeah.
So a lot of that was decided upon by working with Liz Barnhart. And so when she looked at what could be done during the summertime or what needs to be done during the summertime planning wise, because this person, I think it looks like they come 2 weeks after the school year and then they come 2 weeks before the school year to do work. So there's still a little bit of time that's in there. And Liz feels that she can help handle the load through summer planning by doing that herself. But having this person, I mean, you definitely need them throughout that school year and then help support a little bit after school ends and a little bit before school starts. But she thinks that she can go ahead and handle that situation throughout the summer.
I understand what you're saying. I just, after hearing what Mr. Johnson said, I gotta ask if we're that buried, we're that far behind and it's that hard and that much work to do, it doesn't make sense to cut the hours with the money we're spending on it.
So the majority of the work that they will do, even is always during the school year, because that's when the heavy load of all the meetings are, you know, the supervision, the inspections of the rooms, like the heavy workload is that time, the whole school year. When you're talking the summertime, it's usually planning and preparation. And that's why this person will still have up to basically a month of time to still help out between that time with Liz. When you look at that, 2 weeks after, 2 weeks before.
Okay. Elizabeth?
Thank you. Okay, I just learned something again. I've been here 7 years. I didn't know we had 800 students approximately that I have IUPs, did not know that. I did not know that this position is incredibly important because it'll help cut down potential lawsuits. I did not know that. Now, I'm actually flipping boats here, okay? And I'm going with Chris that whatever it takes for us to have, well, obviously, number one is the care and quality of the student. That's a given. I'm not gonna keep saying that. But if this position and the other, her supervisor's position, her director's position, are going to help the school district not have so many lawsuits, are we understaffing it because of, look at the track record. So now I'm even well, anyways, make a long story, now I'm gonna vote for it, but now I don't feel confident that you have enough people in the office. So, this is,
Well,
this is
listen, if you want to give
crazy.
us some more. But the bottom line is compliance wise, I just want you to be reassured that having somebody there as a 210 will definitely help out, because again, the majority of the compliance issues or things that we have to make sure our I's are dotted and T's are crossed will occur during the school year itself. That's when a lot of the heavy lifting occurs. I'm not saying that this person won't come in more than their 210 days, but that could be on their own, cognizance to come in to say, I want to work a little extra and help out Liz. But again, we did a lot of analysis with Liz and found out that this model would help in a number of different ways, and as well as help us with some financial.
I'm sorry, what was I saying?
It's awesome. Yes.
Okay, this would be very helpful,
Mhm.
okay? For you to take back to the superintendent, your team, et cetera, to get an evaluation. Okay, that's something we never have with these IUPs. Not names, not details, but look, we have 800 students. We have this challenge, this is being corrected, this is the solution, this is what we're implementing, something. So when these kind of things come up,
Mhm.
we get it.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm over here.
I believe Liz comes to do a presentation on the amount of
that's
students
not-
we have and the IP and stuff like
But
that.
that's not implementation and results and challenges. That's just data. Okay, thank you.
Anything else? All right. Motion is second. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
No,
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Baldino,
Yes.
Mr. Cannon.
Yes.
Now my favorite one. I'd
no,
like to move K1.
Hey, Ron, I thought you.
No second needed.
I got something I'd like to say.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
It's been said many times, and it was said a little bit ago, we've not seen anything against the hand dryers. And last week, I offered to hand these out, have copies made. I did research and this is just so that everybody's on the page. The CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, has unequivocally stated that hand dryers are a hand drying solution. People should make sure their hands are completely, since germs spread more easily when hands are dry. However, most studies suggest paper towels can dry hands efficiently and effectively to remove bacteria effectively and cause less contamination of the washroom environment. From a hygiene viewpoint, paper towels are superior to electric dryers.
And who's that from?
That was from the Centers for Disease Control.
We've already tabled that motion. It's done.
Well, since it was said that there's no proof, I've offered this proof, nobody wants it. I'm gonna email it to all of you because from the Cleveland Clinic, the CDC, and Harvard all say that hand dryers spread bacteria. That's why I'm arguing against it, tabled or not. It needs said that the proof is there.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, meeting adjourned.